Alright, what's going on today, guys? Welcome back to Pretty Decent Garage. In today's episode, I am going to be fixing my broke-ass 240. That's right, it took me probably about 3-4 drift events to finally break something on it. And yeah, I think it's probably going to be a cracked manifold, or I guess I pretty much know it's going to be a cracked manifold as I did a little bit of digging into it. Right over here, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. But yeah, basically right in there, there's a crack. Manifold's gonna be coming off today, and yeah, hopefully I can get that all welded up and get this thing back on the track. Now I'll give you guys a little bit of, I guess I'll start it if anybody else kind of has issues. Honestly, I never really noticed too much of a power loss issue, more just, I guess, a loud tractor kind of like sound. So I'll show you that if anybody has maybe thinking they have a cracked manifold. Honestly, pretty common, especially if you don't have, like, you're drifting, your exhaust is kind of bouncing around all over the place. Yeah, it's gonna happen. That one actually is a Tomei manifold, so I guess it is a little bit better than your standard ISR or Megan manifold or one of those cheap eBay ones. So it's a little bit of a notch up from that. But this manifold has been thrown to the wall one time before, so it's got some cracks on it. I've had lots of other car stuff on the go between this, the Silvia. I don't know if you guys have even seen the Silvia yet, but I had a coolant leak on that. It was a disaster. The whole engine had to come out. I didn't really want to videotape it. I was prepping it for the car show, and yeah, I was just pretty stressed out about the whole thing. I thought videoing would just basically add to the time of the completion of it. So it was pretty stressed out, the pressure was on to have it done for the show. So that's kind of what I've been at. Like I said, it basically consisted of me getting pissed off, pulling the engine with Matt, grabbing a gasket because I thought it was maybe the gasket that was leaking, and the coolant hose on it, I guess, had a little pinhole leak in the hose. We kind of found that out after we dropped the engine back in. Luckily, we were able to still pull that hose off with the engine in, so we didn't have to re-pull it out. I cut the first hose that we got too small, like a dumbass. Measure twice, cut once. That was definitely not the case with me. So yeah, so I F'd that up, and yeah. Had to source another hose that literally took like half a day, going to different places trying to find something similar, and got that in, kind of made it work with some other random hose that we had, and put the engine back in, and it seems to be running kind of all right now. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like it's always kind of running good, running not good, typical SR shit. So the Silvia that I've been working on, and yeah. That's basically where all my time's been going the last 2 weeks here, along with holidays and whatever else. Lots of other stuff on the go. So I want to do some more drift days and burn some tires. I'm gonna give you guys a little start to see what it kind of sounds like. As you can see, my garage is an absolute disaster right now. Kind of hard to hear over the exhaust there. Hopefully you guys can kind of hear, but if you can kind of hear a bit of a ticking noise, yeah, hopefully you guys can hear. There is a ticking. It's definitely coming from the exhaust manifold somewhere around there. So I'm thinking that's probably the issue there. I actually had bought a stethoscope. Kind of looks just like this. So yeah, Dr. Eric here did a little touch-in on the engine with this thing, and I found out that it didn't sound like it was coming from the lifters, which SRs do have a little bit of an issue with. So I'm hoping that that's the only issue. I'll probably end up replacing the manifold gasket while I'm there. I bought a nice, I think, 7-layer one using the S15s. So I'm gonna try to do that probably while I'm down there. Would be nice to do turbo upgrade as well, but probably save that for later in the winter season. So first things that we're gonna do here is I'm probably gonna take out this intercooler piping first, along with the intake manifold. So there's gonna be a few pieces to undo there. And once I have those out, I'm probably just gonna get started right on the manifold bolts, as well as we gotta end up doing the bolts on the downpipe, but I think I can probably end up doing those last. So I got the intercooler piping off, the intake off. I started undoing all the bolts on there. I kind of pulled a few of them off there. Should have probably jacked up the vehicle beforehand, or I guess drive it onto the ramps before I ended up taking it all apart. Would have been a little easier. Exhaust is now unhooked from the downpipe. So now for the kind of shitty part that I hate doing, there's going to be oil and coolant line that's down here, 2 lines here that need to be unhooked. These ones are going to be aftermarket ones, obviously, for the turbo that I have. If you are removing yours and you don't have any aftermarket ones, I highly recommend them. They're super awesome. Nice and flexible, so they're kind of easily go in place. I remember when I had the stock turbo, where I had like a little bit of a smaller upgrade on a GT28, I used the stock lines, but it was kind of a bitch because you actually kind of had to bend them a little bit. But with these things, they're so nice because you can kind of flex them and you can kind of put them wherever you want to hang them, right? So if you have the money, those are really awesome. Highly recommend them. Get some reputable lines. Got the drain pan down there for the coolant and oil, and then there's just a couple more bolts to remove and we should be good to go. Okay, so we got it out now. One other thing I guess I should probably mention, there's one other line that runs to the back there, and there is a turbo like an oil drain line that kind of feeds down right into that thing right there. This is my turbo setup here. As you can see, that's what a GT3071 looks like. Pretty nasty, pretty dirty. There's a better shot of the manifold. And now that I have it out, definitely looks like it is cracked. So fast forward to the next day here. I got the manifold back today. Buddy JJ welded it all up. So it was cracked. He cleaned it up. It was cracked all along there. A little bit on there. And he ended up just welding the cross as well, just to be safe, because he said it looked like it might have split in there as well. So everything's all welded up on there right now. Other problems that I ended up finding is the exhaust gasket. So here's my stock one. It looked like it was almost leaking out of pretty much everywhere. One really bad spot right here. I don't know how well you can see it, but yeah, it's pretty much toast. So got a new manifold gasket. It's got a few layers to it. This is the S15 style, right from Nissan. That's the part number if anybody is looking for that. And it's just an upgraded one of this, because this is obviously only 1 layer, right? So this has been reused one time before, so that's gone. That's out of there. Other thing that needed to be replaced, like I said, I had that kind of, I guess not even silicone, just a rubber turbo drain was at the bottom of the turbo here. And yeah, it was basically busted, super expanded. I ended up buying some steel braided line for that. I think this is a 3/4 inch. I might be wrong. I just kind of compared it to that other hose I had. This one's a little bit maybe more durable. Hopefully this kind of holds up a little bit better. I think there are kits that you can buy to actually just do this into an actual, turn this into fittings and stuff like that. But this is what I have. This cost me like 13-14 bucks, so this is what I'm going to run with on this one. I'm happy that I did find that. Maybe a blessing in disguise that I got that. And of course with the exhaust gasket as well, that obviously needs to be replaced. So I might have been losing a little bit of horsepower on that. So yeah, so I'm kind of glad that this actually did happen, because now I'm kind of getting around to fixing it properly. So one other thing I want to make mention of here is make sure to fill your coolant back up. Make sure to actually check your fittings too. I had an issue with one of my fittings. This actually was leaking some coolant there, so that needed to be replaced. So do a quick little inspection of your fittings. Make sure the coolant is in. I had started the vehicle up. Everything sounded good, so I'm happy about that. Gasket was done. No more ticking noise at all. And let me know what you guys think. Maybe you guys need help with the turbo setup, or you're kind of thinking on doing something with your 240. Shoot me a comment down below. I think that's pretty much it for today's video. If you like today's content and are interested in more 240 stuff, drifting stuff, basically any kind of car builds, make sure to subscribe down below. Thanks for watching, guys.